Greetings, fellow Slayers. Want to look above for the Vampire Slayer Season 5 now continues on with. Oh, Blood Ties. That's the episode. Yeah, Blood Ties. Okay. The school began to discuss plans for Buffy's birthday and dealing with Glory. She also tells everyone of the new information they have regarding Glory that the Watchers Council has provided. She was the god from a demon dimension who has somehow found her way into theirs. While she is immortal and apparently vulnerable due to being stuck in human form, she is also mostly insane and needs to suck mental energy from humans. This explains an increase of people going crazy in Sunnydale. Sam suggests that they try hunting down the key that Glory is looking for. As the gang starts this plan, Buffy and Giles admit they know where the key is. Sandra Miller heard that information was kept from them, and Buffy says to tell the gang the truth about Dawn, reasoning they deserve to know the full story as their lives will be on the line. Several of the Knights of Byzantium chant around a fire before they are interrupted by Jinx, one of Glory's minions. Glory arrives and kills all the knights except Orlando, whom she later tortures for information. At the magic box, everyone was awkward around Dawn given their new knowledge of her origins, which she picks up on. Giles hides a book in a hidden counter drawer, which Dawn also notices. Later, at a gathering for her birthday, Buffy opens presents from her friends. Soon it's time for Dawn's gift, and she gives Buffy a photo from a vacation they took to the beach with her father. As Dawn talks about the trip, everyone goes quiet, picking up on Buffy's sadness, knowing that the vacation is just another false memory. Nevertheless, Buffy's still touched by the thoughtful gift and hugs her sister close. Dawn appears Buffy, Giles, and Joyce talking about her in the kitchen, discussing if her existence poses any kind of danger. When Xander and Anya go quiet when Dawn approaches, she finally leads into everyone for the constant secrecy around her before running to her room. After sneaking out of the house, Dawn runs into Spike, who's hanging around outside Buffy's house with a battered box of chocolates he wants to give her as a birthday present. After a brief conversation, Dawn tells Spike that she's on her way to the magic shop to steal a book. Spike knows the myriad dangers of roaming around alone at night, and then he accepts Dawn's offer to let him tag along. With Spike's assistance, Dawn breaks into the shop and finds the book that she had seen Giles hide earlier. Reading Giles' entries about the key, she reads that it's outside human perception. It can only be seen by psychics and madmen, causing her to remember being confronted about not being real by crazy people. Although Dawn gets a really bad feeling, she always keeps reading and finds out that the key can also be seen by snakes and dogs, and she remembers how Glory's snake reacted to her. Dawn has already realized the truth as Spike takes over the reading and confirms was not obvious to her. The monks, seeking to make sure that Slayer will protect the key no matter what, Senator transformed into his sister. Spike is surprised as Dawn's world starts to crumble. As again discusses the fact that Riley has sent so much as a message to Buffy for her birthday, Dawn suddenly emerges, bleeding from a self-inflicted knife wound, tearfully questioning what she is. Buffy is just horrified that Dawn has found out the truth, that the party is brought to an abrupt end, and everyone else leaves so Joyce and Buffy can try to talk to Dawn. But everything's changed for her and she's scared, so she demands that they leave her alone. The next day at the magic box, Buffy looks in demanding from Giles all the information there is about the key so she can give Dawn some answers. Anya noticed some cigarette butts in an urn, and Buffy realizes Spike was there when Dawn found out she was the key. Buffy then storms into his crypt ready to beat him up. She furious with him for letting Dawn find out she was the key through a way she didn't want her to find out. However, Spike turns tables on her and blames her for not telling Dawn the truth in the first place. He also noticed that Dawn was going with her without him and that he only wanted to protect her from harm, thinking she would be safer with the big bat looking over her shoulder. Now Buffy's only going after him to make herself feel better. Sensing the truth of Spike's words, Buffy leaves. After she departs, Spike closes his eyes in resignation. He only does a rush driving deep watch between the Summer Sisters the way he inadvertently did when he accompanied Dawn last night. At the Summers' house, Dawn initially refuses to go to school. Joyce tries to be there for her daughter, but Dawn refuses and decides to head to school anyway. Jinx threatens Ben at the hospital, but Ben reveals that Glory can hurt him no matter what he does. Joyce talks to Buffy later, telling her that Dawn got herself suspended from school. Buffy explains that as far as Dawn's concerned, she's not real and nothing she does matters. Dawn overhears and misunderstands the conversation as the two agreeing she's not really their daughter/sister. She rampages through her room, burns her diaries, and runs away. Smoke alerts Buffy and her mom to Dawn's little fire and departure. The gang gathers at the magic box and splits up to search for Dawn. Spike does what he can to comfort the near frantic Buffy and tells her that they will find her sister before it's too late. Buffy then admits that Spike had been right about Dawn. Buffy should have been honest with her in the first place. Dawn passes through the park, reeling past memories only to remind her of their falseness, then asks about the Sunnydale Memorial. She searches for answers in the psych ward, trying to persuade the mental patients to tell them what they see when they look at her, and runs into Ben. She blurts at Ben that she's the key, and he freaks out trying to make her leave before Glory can find her, but it's too late. Ben suddenly transforms into Glory, but Glory remembers nothing about Ben's conversation with Dawn, and the young girl pretends to know nothing. Dawn questions Glory about the key, trying to get more information, and Glory reveals that the key is very old. Glory says Dawn knows nothing and is wasting her time. Dawn doesn't seem to remember exactly how Glory got into the room. Buffy shows the time to stop Glory from draining the energy from Dawn. With some help from the rest of the gang, Buffy gets a few good hits and takes a few as well before Willow and Tara perform a spell teleport Glory somewhere else. The Gus ends up high in the sky and falls straight to Earth. Buffy shows Dawn that no matter what, they are sisters and bound by blood. Dawn tries to tell Buffy that Ben turned into Glory, but can't seem to recall the information correctly, thinking that Ben was there, then left before Glory arrived. The two sisters then head home, their relationship slowly returning to normal. Aww. So now let's take a look at some continuity surrounding this episode. The rest of the Scooby Gang, as well as Dawn herself, learn that Dawn is the key. Buffy discovered it in No Place Like Home and told Giles and family, and then Joyce noticed it and listening to Fear. The 12 or 13 episode of each season is traditionally when Buffy celebrates her birthday. Her birthday takes place in episode 13 of season 2, episode 12 of season 3, episode 12 of season 4, episode 14 of season 6. Spike sent in to give her Buffy the same box of chocolates which he practiced lights on and bludgeoned the Buffy mannequin in a triangle. 6 years later, when Dawn starts disappearing and losing her memories, Spike will keep her company, telling her about the time the two invaded the magic box and discovered she was the key. As Dawn put the pieces together about her identity as the key, it flashes archive footage from episodes listening to Fear, Real Me, and Shadow. Dawn's Silverpuff incident will become a rumor in her school of attempted suicide, as mentioned in the episode The Body. When Dawn gets upset with Joyce and Buffy in the bedroom, she says, "Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out!" She says the same thing in the same place, the episode Older and Far Away, during Buffy's 21st birthday. Although the link between Ben and Glory had been previously suggested, this is the first time we see that Ben and Glory share a body, although neither retains memories of the other's activities. It is also noteworthy that Dawn does now remember Ben changing into Glory. This memory glitch will be a recurring phenomenon in the Weight of the World, affecting everyone who witnesses the shift except Spike. In her fight with Glory, while Buffy is unable to defeat the Hell God, she puts up a much better fight, lasting a bit longer and even landing a few blows, unlike the last time they fought. This occurs in later fights until Buffy gets the upper hand in the gift. This shows Buffy's adaptability to fight stronger opponents, something she shows in her later fights with Caleb in season 7. Buffy assures Dawn that she has family and she has Summer's blood, which will have greater meaning in the season finale, The Gift. Dawn eventually comes to terms with her condition as the key, as herself reveals in Old Demons Part 2. Nonetheless, Dawn's fear of not being real still manifests when she visits the dimension of darkest fear in Own It Part 3. And now let's take a look at a production note from this episode. This is the first Buffy episode written by Stephen S. DeKnight. And now finally, let's take a look at some pop culture references. Spike teases Dawn about watching the children's television series Teletubbies. Spike describes Dawn as a Little Red Riding Hood, the title character of the fairy tale. Glory refers to Ben by the title of the television series Gentle Ben. Buffy says Dawn has a get-out-of-jail-free card, an item from the board game Monopoly. So overall, I think it's a pretty interesting episode, and yeah, I do feel kind of bad for Dawn about how she learned about how she had to learn that she's the key and stuff like that. But yeah, but also hey, at least Buffy lasted longer against Glory this time than she did last time. So yeah. So overall, I give Blood Ties 4 vampire steaks out of 5. Why don't you tune in wait till next episode? Crush. So, until then, here endeth the lesson.